Hi guys, it's Velian here from Velian Speaks Tech, and today we are reviewing the Apple iPhone 4S in 2019. Yes, you've heard it correctly. Apple iPhone 4S 2019. So we want to find out, is it still worth to use an iPhone 4S 8 years after its original release, guys, right? So back in the days, some history facts, guys. Back in the days, there were quite interesting times, because when the iPhone 4S was released, it costed only $199 for the 16 gigabyte of model, $299 for the 32 gigabyte of models, and almost $400 for the 64G of models. So you can just imagine how cheap these things were back in the time before Apple kind of braked the ceiling for smartphone pricing, and now we have phones that are priced over 1,000 euro or 1,000 USD. But okay, the iPhone 4S is a topic today, as you can see in the video below. Probably what the iPhone 4S will be remembered for is that Apple introduced the new voice commanding system that is based on the technology they bought from another company, and they named it Siri. Now, I'm not sure who is still using Siri these days. I have a feeling that it's not much used these days, and maybe people are using already Android and Google Voice and Google Now Assistant, whatever. But okay, Siri was a big thing when Apple first launched it, because this spread then, I think Microsoft to release Cortana, and some other vendors like Google, other manufacturers to release their own solutions. But back in the days, Apple was really nailing it, and I think 2011 was a quite interesting year for smartphone releases. I think we got the Galaxy S2 from Samsung, some Nokia and HTC strong models, so quite a nice year. But let's go back to the iPhone 4S, guys. This was the first iPhone that I think had a dual core processor, and in fact Phil Schiller already claimed that it delivered twice the performance from the previous chip. So the iPhone 4S is rocking the Apple designed dual core A5 processor, but also dual network. So the iPhone 4S also worked on both GSM and CDMA carrier, and this means actually that was a big thing, because you can apparently use it not only in the States, maybe also in China, etc. But then download speeds, iPhone 4S apparently supports HSDPA. Of course not the LTE, but still it was a huge improvement. But maybe the biggest improvements came in the camera, because the camera on the iPhone 4S is significantly improved, guys. They claim, or Apple claimed, 30% sharper compared to the old one. It has an aperture of f2.4, and it is a third quicker to capture images. It means quite a little bit faster than the old one, and it has an 8 megapixel sensor that can make quite nice pictures. But just imagine, 2011, it was still capable then to record HD 1080p videos, of course at 30 frames per second. Of course not 60, but still 30. And speaking about the iPhone, guys, can you still use it in 2019? Maybe you can. I updated this iPhone that I'm showing right now in the video to the latest iOS, which is I think 9 something. But guess what? It came with the iOS 5, and it was supported I think for almost like 4.5 years, maybe even 5 years, guys. So the iPhone 4S, when it was originally launched, it was coupled with the iOS 5, but then Apple supported it for like almost 4 years. And I think if you need to use it today, I think it cannot say that it is still gonna be like a capable phone, but goddamn, you can take nice pictures, you can take normal video, you can use social apps like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And guess what, even on the Windows Phone, we know that the platform died, and people were not able to use Instagram and Facebook because they were suspended. So speaking about the iPhone 4S, yes, I think it was possible, that this device, when it really ran to the market, was not so much anticipated, because the people expected already the iPhone 5, and then what Apple gave them was the iPhone S, and still the 4S, but still there were some improvements, guys. And speaking about improvements, I just want to share with you some facts, guys, because just trying to put this into perspective, how much the whole scene has changed. So this iPhone weighs 140 grams, and the screen size is the most noticeable thing that you'll see today, comparing it to a normal standard smartphone these days, because the screen is just 3.5 inches, guys. It's even not 4, it's 3.5 inches, and the resolution is 640 by 960, and people are actually saying that the screen of the iPhone 4S is a quite capable screen, even comparing it to the nowadays iPhone XR, guys. So it's not something I think that you should forget about. Quite capable phone back for the days. It has the dual core processors, Cortex A9 powered, running with 8 GHz. It has a PowerVR SXGC 54 MP2 GPU, but then again, only 8 gigabytes. I think only 8 gigabyte. I think was the lowest storage. Then it has also 16, 32, 64, and guess what? It runs with a 512 megabytes of RAM, guys. The front camera, the front camera can also take videos, but only at 480p at 30 FPS. But it has, a loudspeaker, and of course it has also the 3.5mm jack. So of course you can put, your headphones up. And I think this was actually the last iPhone where Apple put the headphone jack above the phone, because now on the latest revisions they put the headphone jack below. And of course the whole story, how this ended up, like the relationship between Apple and the headphone jack. They just killed that one. But now, guys, let's go back to the original question. Is the iPhone 4S still usable and still working in 2019? And I think it's clear, As a primary phone, of course not. But then as a backup device, that's quite a capable phone. And don't get me wrong here, you can send emails with the iPhone 4S, you can text, you can call, your friends. You can even shoot like normal decent photos and also video. But then also you can use FaceTime. So don't forget also that there are some Apple specific things like the iCloud that of course will work and will help you synchronize things across your devices. Then of course you got all the ecosystem of apps and etc. Then you can use Siri if you want. But then there are no more updates, guys. So you're not getting a new iOS, and of course this kind of like limits you. And if you use to a newer phone, those things like the 3D maps, the AirDrop, the panorama mode, even slow motion videos, Touch ID, which actually now is killed in the latest iPhones, but there is no 3D touch, no stereo speakers, guys. So the very latest iOS and iPhone person are not there, but the basic functionality is still there, guys. And as I'm showing you in the video, you can still go and update your apps. And in case something happens and you break your primary phone and somebody hands over to you an iPhone 4S, you should know that apparently you can use the iPhone 4S as a daily backup driver, right? So guys, I hope you liked the video, and if you do so, please subscribe to my channel. And if you get an iPhone 4S, just keep it. Who knows, maybe it's worth some money in 10 years.